Hey guys, I'm so happy to be back with you all. I appreciate all the love and the patience that you guys have been sending me. I truly, truly appreciate it. I just want to start off this video by saying that I have really struggled to articulate my internal reality to those closest to me. I honestly just want to communicate through telepathy and energy, even symbols at its most basic form. However, it's not a readily available ability within the human body, within the human collective. So just bear with me as I struggle with these words, and I am hoping that once I get through with this video, I will be able to communicate messages to you more clearly and concisely. I wasn't going to make this video, however, there were some things that were highlighted for me a couple of days ago, and my guides highly suggested that I try giving this sort of video a go. Not only is it going to help me work through those things that were highlighted, but also give you guys another place to look if you go through something similar or if you're going through something similar. So with that being said, let's go ahead and just dive right in. I have been going through a Kundalini awakening. Now, I was completely unaware when it started. It wasn't until things got really rough for me that I decided I was going to go on the hunt for as much wisdom as I could find in relation to this, especially trying to figure out healthier ways to work with this energy instead of creating resistance and blockages within my energy channels, which was exactly what I was doing. Now, in this hunt to find as much information as I could, in hindsight, that was a mistake, and the choices that led me down this path are definitely something that I had been reflecting a lot on. So the main thing with all this information that I found is that there were certain types of people portrayed in this information as to who goes through a Kundalini awakening. It was almost like you had to fit the criteria, and it's lagging, I'm sorry. You had to fit a certain criteria in order to have a Kundalini awakening, and I'm sorry. So sorry. I wonder if I'm fluctuating. Let's see. Yeah. Anywho, moving forward. So there was a certain criteria for individuals to experience the Kundalini awakening. There were a certain list of symptoms and certain things that you might feel or experience in some way, shape or form. And a lot of those things didn't resonate with me, but there were some aspects of it that did, and my guides would not let me shift into a different perspective or find a different label, because the truth is this is exactly what I'm going through, no matter how much I try to fight it or to tell myself that this isn't it, I'm not worthy enough, is really what came through. I'm not worthy enough for this experience. I'm undeserving of a Kundalini awakening. And through the choices that led me on this path, I fell into a pit, and I wallowed in that pit, and I chose to be the victim. And the key word is choice. I chose to put myself in a situation and an experience that was more detrimental to my health. Granted, that there were some things that I found that allowed me to work through this energy, but in total honesty, my guides have been supporting me this whole time. They have been giving me tips, tricks, skills, habits to implement in my life, and I refused to take heed of those messages. I didn't understand. I really had a lack of understanding towards a lot of different things, and my egoic mind, my human mind, the logical part of my brain really just wanted to find facts and find hard proof and all those other different things that come along with that aspect of ourselves. So while I was wallowing in this worthlessness and this self-pity, I realized that there is an aspect of myself that still requires healing. It still requires introspection in order to get to the root of that issue. So I spent a lot of time trying to dig through my past, the different experiences that I've had that have caused pain and trauma and resentment and all those sorts of things. And honestly, I couldn't find the root of it. I really couldn't. So I was guided to go into the Akashic Records, but this time having intent, having questions I wanted answered in relation to this worthlessness, right? And feeling undeserving, because I was comparing my experience to other people's experiences, and in this criteria that I didn't fit really allowed me to sink further into that energy. So when we're in the Akashic Records, they were bringing forth specific lives and showing me how accomplished I was in those lives. And although I hadn't reached full enlightenment, right, with this whole Kundalini experience in those lifetimes, I was being given the opportunity in this life to start that process earlier to help me get to a further point quicker than what I had previously. So it's in that awareness that I truly recognize that there are certain challenges that I have in this now life that I've really been struggling to identify where that truly comes from. And it's in this journey into the Akashic Records that there are a lot of things that I'm working through in this lifetime that don't originate in this life. And yes, there are variations of those same issues in this life. Ultimately, I'm working through a pattern of making choices based on seeing the best in every person, every situation, every opportunity, despite whatever my intuition and my discernment is telling me. So that was a big thing. Still currently going through this whole awakening process. However, I have made so many different changes to my external reality, my everyday routine, so to speak. And as we all know, creating new habits takes time, it takes consistency, and it takes perseverance. And it's not an easy thing to completely change every aspect of your waking life. So not only have I dedicated a lot of my time, energy, and resources into working through these challenges, but I've also dedicated a lot of that to creating these new habits, new patterns that are far more healthier for me. I do feel the need to say that I had this enlightening moment where I realized that me feeling sorry for myself and me celebrating are the exact same things, right? So I'm perpetuating the energy of, how do I say that? Perpetuating the cycle of suffering, perpetuating suffering. So to give you an example, when I'm feeling down, when I'm feeling sorry for myself, I eat sweets, chocolate, all of that. When I'm feeling happy and successful and celebrating something, what I do, I also eat. So it's one and the same thing. And whether I was aware of it at the time, and certainly now, I was perpetuating that suffering because there is no differentiation between suffering or feeling sorry for yourself and celebrating. So that within itself was quite difficult to come to terms with, and then trying to find a healthier way to deal with those heavier emotions. It's definitely a challenge, but I'm feeling really good about it. I'm feeling really, really good about it. There are so many different things that I want to share with you guys. This video within itself is definitely a struggle, simply because I'm super picky with who I share my internal reality with. So to put myself out on such a broad platform like this is not only a challenge, but it also goes against everything in my being. But as we know, I need to follow the guidance regardless of whether I'm aware of why they're giving me that guidance or not. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you all for the love and for the patience. And thank you especially to those who continue to support myself and this channel on this journey. And I look forward to giving you guys readings. Namaste.